In this video, I'm going to share with you 4 Upwork alternatives. Number 1, TopTal. TopTal is exactly what I hoped Upwork would have been when I started out Upwork. TopTal, you don't even have to apply to jobs. The platform itself pairs you with clients. Getting jobs is easy. The average pay is high. In fact, on the lower end, freelancers who make little money on the platform make about $50,000 US per year. Like, that's the lower end freelancers on the platform, which is way over average on platforms like Upwork. More than that, the projects tend to last way longer than projects on Upwork, Fiverr. We're talking about 4 months long projects on average. And if you're a freelancer, you want to have more financial security, you want to know that you'll have jobs for the next couple of weeks, months. This is a platform where you don't just have short-term work that just lasts you for a week and then you have to go try to find more jobs and more jobs and more jobs. But the problems are as follows. Number 1, most people who try to get on TopTal will get rejected. TopTal has a lot of criterias, and if you don't meet their criterias, you're not going to get on the platform. TopTal only accepts freelancers from 5 categories, so they don't accept freelancers with any type of expertise or career skills. They're only looking for developers, designers, financial experts, project managers, and product managers. If that's not what you're doing, I'm afraid you're not going to be able to get on TopTal. More than that, even if those are your career skills, TopTal only accepts about 3% of the people who sign up. But before you think that it's impossible to get on TopTal, the truth is you don't really have to be in the top 3% highest performing people in your career skill. You don't have to be in the top 3% most competent developers or top 3% most competent designers, because the majority of people who get rejected on TopTal are rejected because their English is not good enough. In the process that you have to go through to get on TopTal, early on in the process, there is a live interview with an interviewer, and the main thing they're looking for is whether or not your English is good enough to be on the platform, because they decided this is an English platform and they work with English clients and they want people to have really good English. And so only about 25% of people pass this initial interview, which means that their English is good enough among a few other things that they're looking for, which means you don't really have to be in the top 3% performing developers or designers or project managers or product managers or financial experts. If you're a native English speaker, you're really good in English, actually, it's more like you have to be in the top 10 to 15% best performing in your career skill. Because if you do the math, if only 25% of the people are left after the interview that tests whether or not your English is good enough, if you take these 25% and 3% of the 25% get accepted, that's about 12% of the people who pass the English interview that end up getting accepted. So don't get discouraged if you don't feel like you're in the top 3%. Even if you feel like you're maybe only in the top 20%, maybe it's worth applying anyway. Like, it's a good platform. Finding jobs is a lot easier than other freelance platforms. The job pay well, the jobs last longer. So maybe it's worth trying out if your English is good and you want to give it a shot. Number 2, Malt.fr. There are other websites like this. Basically, Malt is the equivalent of Upwork in France. You might be thinking, but Alec, I'm not speaking French. Like, I can't go on that platform, and that would be true. But the reason this is interesting and I want to point it out is because a lot of my viewers actually speak languages that are other than English. Some of you speak French, some of you speak other languages that are spoken in Europe that may have websites like Malt.fr. I started my freelance career thinking that I should start freelancing in English because that's like where most of the jobs are. At first, I didn't realize that I speak French and I could just go on Malt.fr and find jobs easier that pay more money. And maybe it's your case. I don't know which languages you're speaking, but if you're living in Europe, there's a good chance that there's a website like this one for you that could give you good opportunities. Number 3, 99 Designs. 99 Designs is really interesting for a lot of people because a lot of people are frustrated about Upwork, because when you start on Upwork, you start feeling like the people who get jobs are not the people who are the best at their jobs. On 99 Designs, if you're really good at design, you don't have to be really good at marketing. You can get jobs and make money. 99 Designs has a lot of jobs like Upwork where you can work with individual clients, but 99 Designs also has a different type of jobs that isn't really found on Upwork. Or if it is, it's not very common and I haven't seen it at all. Basically, on 99 Designs, a lot of jobs are contests. Basically, clients pay a certain amount of money. If it's a logo, many designers create a logo from all around the world, and the best one gets paid and possibly has more opportunities to work with the same client or other people who notice their work. But the problem with that is that, first of all, 99 Designs, it's kind of in the name, but it's just for designers. If you're not a designer, you're not going to be able to find jobs there. And on top of that, if you're not very good, it's going to be very difficult for you to get started. If you're not going to win contests, you're not going to make money in the short term. And if you don't do these contests, it's going to be very hard for you to find jobs at all, probably harder than Upwork. So I wouldn't go there if you aren't in the top performing artists or designers. But I know that a lot of people watching this video, a lot of my viewers are web designers. And so I thought it would be really good to share that with you because I know for some of you, it's going to be a really good platform. Number 4, Smart Reach. Changing website and going to Smart Reach for me has been one of the biggest breakthroughs in my freelance career. And actually, I've made a series of videos where I share with you my whole process of how I find freelance jobs using Smart Reach. If you're interested in seeing how that works, see how you can find freelance jobs on Smart Reach, see how I do it, you're going to want to click up here. Go check out that playlist of videos. It's a short playlist, but there's a lot of very valuable info that I share with you. And if you're interested, there's also going to be a link in the description as well. I hope you found this video helpful. If you have any questions, you can ask me in the comments. And with that said, I wish you a great day and I'll see you soon. Take care.